Hello, everybody. Good evening and welcome to another wonderful episode of Become a Better Man. My name is Tunde Disu, and it's an honor for me to have you with me on this program tonight. Tonight is going to be another great program. We are going to again add another feather, as it were, to our cap as we move towards becoming all that God has in stock for us and all that He purposed in His heart when He created each and every one of us. You see, one of my philosophies in life is that none of us is here by accident. None of us is here without a purpose. We all have a destiny to fulfill. We have a destination to arrive at. And so as we go along the journey of life, we will pick up some of the tools, some of the skills, some of the wisdom, some of the connections, some of the contacts, and sometimes some of the lessons of life that we need to help us to achieve and arrive at the destination that God has for us. So, as you know, on this platform, Become a Better Man, our aim, our goal, our purpose is to ensure that as we go on this life journey, as we travel through this time that we have here on earth, that everything that God has put together, packaged together, assembled for each and every one of us, that we will not miss it. We will take hold of it. We will take advantage of these resources so that we can fulfill the purpose for which He created us. Sister Fumi Adewusi, Marvelous Nantu, thank you for joining me tonight. It is going to be a great night. And as usual, we'll be looking at another aspect of one of the life skills that we need to excel, to fulfill our purpose, to be all that we are destined to be. And tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we will be looking at understanding the nature of shyness. Understanding the nature of shyness. I don't know about you, but I can speak for myself. And truth be told, this applies to all of us. At one point or another, for one reason or another, at one stage in your life and in my life, we've had to deal with this issue of shyness. We've had to deal with not knowing whether what we're doing is the right thing, not knowing, not even sure whether we're supposed to be where we are, or even when we're sure, when we're in the midst of friends and families, as it were. There is every now and again this weather or this quote or this spirit that will just hang around you, and you start to feel shy, even in the midst of people that you know, or even people that you don't know. At the end of the day, we are all human beings. Emmanuel, Alote, Annan, thank you so for joining us. Sister Katie Moideme, thank you, Mama. I appreciate you. We've all had to deal at one point or another with this issue of shyness. For some of you or some of us, since we are all in this together, it is maybe meeting your spouse for the first time. Maybe the first time you laid your eyes on her, and you believe that this is the Lord's doing and it is marvelous in your eyes. But instead for you to follow that up with an action, that spirit of shyness came over you. And you struggle to even express what you're thinking, how you are feeling, what you want to say. And unfortunately, most people in the course of hiding behind, I'm shy, I'm a shy person, I'm shy, I can't do that, I can't talk to her, I can't go there, I can't see that person, oh, I can't make that phone call, I'm very shy. In the course of doing that, some of the things that are destined, some of the things that are purposefully prepared for us, they just walk by in the course of being for the reason we say, oh, I'm shy. Thank you, sir. Good News Outreach Ministries for joining us. I appreciate you, sir. You see, the truth is this: shyness is something that a lot of people, most people, at some point in their lives, shyness is something that we all have to battle with, have to deal with, have to walk through, and come out. It's been said that one of the biggest fear that people have is the fear of speaking in public. The fear of speaking in public. But when you look deep into why, you speak to people one-on-one, just because there's a gathering, it's still just the same, you saying the same thing you could have said if it's just you and the person. But then at that point, because now you're in front or you're going before a crowd, people say, oh, I'm shy, I can't talk in public. But the funny thing is this: research has demonstrated that there is no gene in our bodies. There is no part of our makeup. There is nothing in us as human beings that will cause us to be shy. There is no part of our makeup where, oh, this cell is responsible for being shy. It's not in our body. And because people are shy, actually it's been said that shy people, they lag behind those of their peers who are not shy, who are bold, who will go for it. Especially in the areas of getting a good job, getting a good pay for a good job, meeting your spouse, or meeting the person you're going to marry, and so many other things. Emmanuel said most often it's a result of lack of exposure, and that is very true, and we will get to that as we look into what causes people to be shy. Let me give you some examples. This may not relate to you, but I'm sure at some point or another, one of these will have gone past your street or knocked on your door, and you probably have made this one a cup of tea one time or another. Scenario one: you're in the grocery store, say Sainsbury or Morrison's or Tesco, and there you are with your trolley going down the aisle, and suddenly there is that person in your office, that person in your church, that your neighbor down the street, in the same grocery store, pushing their trolley, maybe with their child, or you are with your own child, and just seeing them causes you to just freeze. Ideally, what you would have done is walk up to, oh, how are you? Good to see you. I didn't know you shop here. Yeah, I just said we'll come and buy one or two things, Christmas is coming and all of that. But instead of you to walk up to them and say hi, have a small talk, and everybody will go their separate ways, as soon as you see them, oh, I can't talk to them. And whoosh, you make a dash. And you spend the rest of the evening avoiding that person in that grocery store. Even after they have left, you are still hiding because you don't want to engage the person in a simple social interaction. Or maybe you are new in town, or maybe you are new in a church. And you would like to join maybe the men's fellowship or the ladies group or whatever, any other group you would like to join. But because you are a shy person, you arrive at church late and you leave immediately the service is over, so that you will not have reason to interact with the people that you really want to be part of their group. Maybe you've asked to call you need to call somebody. Now, this is even more weird. You need to call somebody, not face to face, over the phone. Maybe your manager, and you need to let him or her know that your last assessment has come out great, and you're expecting your increase in salary and the bonus that you were promised and all of that. But you are too timid to even pick the phone, call them, and tell them what you want to say. There are so many ways by which people have demonstrated this nature, this issue of shyness. I remember when I was in secondary school, I was in, I think, in year 3. We had a senior, a lady in our school then. She was the school senior prefect for female. This lady gave her all the papers that you can find. She will write articulately with correct English, punctuation, everything perfect. But ask her to speak to 3 people, and she will be there shaking, sweating, fidgeting, can't get her words out because she's shy. I don't know where she is today. I wish her all the best, and I hope she has overcome that. But the reality is, shyness is something that has stopped a lot of people from becoming all that they are destined to be. It has stopped a lot of people becoming or fulfilling their purpose in life, reaching the goal that they set for themselves, attaining the height that they should have, if the issue of shyness is not there. Now, thank you, ma'am. Emmanuel Alote Anand said, I was so shy at university that I never had the courage to stand for any position, even though I knew I needed to. You see, imagine the trauma, imagine the agony, imagine the pain of knowing this is something I should do, this is something I could do, this is something I must do. But because you are shy, you can't step out to do it. But the pain is not just that. The pain is now seeing somebody else who is not half qualified, who hasn't got what it takes, who can't even put one and one together. And yet they are occupying that space. They are ruling in that place. They are making commands in that area where you are supposed to be. And you could have been, you should have been, you are supposed to be there, but you didn't because you're shy. Because you're shy. Now, I know to a lot of you out there, you'll be thinking, well, you see today, the issue of shyness, not me. I'm as bold as lion. I mean, look at me. Which is great. That is wonderful. I am so grateful to God for you. However, there are some things that we're going to touch on tonight, which I believe will be of great benefit to you, even though you are not shy. You see, some of these things that we're covering, some of these topics that we discuss every week, they might not relate or pertain to you as a person. But what they do is, it becomes an arsenal in your toolbox. You now have that as an experience, so that when you are in a position to help somebody, that's not the time you start flipping the pages of Google to find the answer. You already have it. So maybe shyness is not your problem. Maybe you don't have issues with that, which is great. Stick with me. It's going to be a good ride. I promise you. When people are shy, when people feel shy, when the manifestation of shyness, because some people have confused being an introvert to being shy. They're two different things. They have some common similarities, but they are two completely different things, and we will get to that as we go along. Just like some people have confused being loud with being courageous or being bold, they're completely two different things. And again, we will cover that as we go along. But when somebody is shy, when people are shy, these are some of the things that you will notice with them, or some of the manifestations of what will be going through with them. For instance, their pulse will be racing. If you can just hold their wrist, it will break any meter that you're using to measure it. It will be going tum 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 tum. Their pulse will be racing. Their palm will be sweaty. They'll be feeling hot. Like, oh, it's too hot here. I need some air. Some of them will just go silent. Some of them don't know what to say. Some of them, in an attempt to overcome it, they speak so fast, you know this is not your natural way of talking. Some of them become so nervous that their hands will literally be shaking. Some of them, they get so stuck in this self-focused mentality, thinking everybody is seeing that I'm shy, everybody is seeing that I'm messing about, everybody is seeing that I'm this and that, when in reality, most of the time, people don't even see what you are thinking. But you see, it's like a vicious circle. Now you're sweating, your hands are shaking, your pulse is racing. And because that is happening, you start to think, oh, everybody can see that I'm shaking. Everybody can see that I'm sweating. And so you become self-conscious. But guess what? The moment you become self-conscious, those symptoms will just go up a big notch. And so you're self-conscious to preserve yourself from being noticed as being sweaty and all of that. But because of that self-consciousness, you amplify the symptoms that nobody had seen before. And suddenly people are now paying attention to it. When people are shy, there's a host of physiological and psychological symptoms that are going through their system. That some people get tied up in a knot. They can't even get their words out of their mouth. Maybe you are not shy, but this has happened. Let me give you another scenario. Maybe you are somebody, say you are a lover of football, for argument's sake, and you support Chelsea, which is the best club to support, obviously. And one day, you were just walking down the street, and there is John Terry, Frank Lampard, and DJ Drogba. The three of them, the three iconic players of Chelsea Football Club, right in front of you. A lot of people they just freeze. Literally just freeze on the spot. They can't get their words out. They are blabbing. They are sweating. Now, that could happen as well. The truth is this. The reason people are shy is because naturally every human being have the tendency to protect something about themselves. Maybe you need to protect your life, you need to protect your health, you need to protect your family, you need to protect your job, you need to protect your well-being. We are all protecting one thing or another at every point in time. But the people who are shy, their primary need to be protected is their social acceptance. What will people think about me? How will people feel about me? What message am I passing across? The threat of social acceptance is the biggest reason why people are shy. And again, we will break that up as we go along. If shyness is not properly managed, it's a danger that can derail, delay, and even destroy completely one's life. Quickly, let's look at some of the causes of shyness. You remember I said at the beginning, researchers medically or people who study human parts and all of that, they have established that there is no gene in us that is responsible for shyness. Not at all. So, the question then is, if it's not, why are people shy? Why are people shy? Anyway, we'll cover that later. The number one reason why people become shy is biologically. Because sometimes our parents, God bless them, our parents, they inadvertently pass on to us some personality temperaments that they didn't know, we didn't know. For instance, it has been said that when a child in primary school doesn't know how to talk in a civilized way, in a civil way to other members of the classroom, one of the biggest reasons for that is because back at home, the parents don't know how to talk, either to each other or to that child, in a civilized way. It is barking and shouting and aggressive. And, children, they learn more from watching you than from hearing you. Your children will learn more just by observing you than for you to sit down and give them 2 hours of life lessons every day. So what will happen is such child will then go ahead and display that same temperament, because that is what that child has inherited, as it were, from his or her parents. Another way by which, or another thing that causes people to become shy is what medical people call neurological reasons. Please help me here, I'm not a medical person. Now, the explanation is that there is a part of our brain that produces something called serotonin. 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 This is something that one of the chemicals that our brain produces. And this chemical is responsible for making you calm, relaxed, and sociable. That's its work, that's its purpose. However, if the brain overproduces this chemical, this serotonin, if it is overproduced in the brain or by the brain, something that is meant to make you feel calm, make you feel relaxed, and make you feel sociable will start to do the opposite. So neurologically, it is possible for somebody to be shy because of this the secretion of this serotonin chemical in the brain. The third way, or the third reason that causes people to be shy is the environment. The environment. What do I mean by the environment? For instance, if you have a house with 2 children, and every day one of them is hearing affirmation. Is being lifted, is being encouraged, is being championed, is being given accolades and respect. The tendency for that child is that child will grow up to become bold, courageous, ready to go, believe nothing can stop him or her, and all of that. But if, on the other hand, another child is being constantly put down, is being constantly told you everything that child does is wrong, everything that child says is wrong, everywhere that child is wrong, and that child is constantly being put down, over time, that child will grow up believing that there is nothing good about him or her. And so, in an attempt to protect himself or herself, they recoil back on the inside. Whatever will cause them to socialize or interact or relate to other people, they will not touch it, because they are so aware, they are so conscious, they are so sensitive to what they've grown up with, which is nothing good comes out of Nazareth. So the environment in which we grow up, in which we develop, is a major factor that can cause somebody to be shy. Another thing about the environment that can cause somebody to be shy is whether that person was bullied or abused physically, emotionally, verbally, or sexually when they were young. All of that strip people of their dignity, of their courage, of everything that pertains to goodness in their lives. And so such people will grow up refusing or avoiding interacting with other people. Ladies and gentlemen, when we talk about being shy, the bottom line is that it manifests at the point of relating to other people, socializing with other people, being in contact with other human beings. You'll be amazed that people who are shy, can sit down in front of a computer, of a TV, of an engine, of a drawing, and they could spend hours and still find joy in it. But that same person, ask that person to introduce himself or herself to the next door neighbor. Now you can't find them. So really, when we talk about shyness, it's all about your relationship, the point of contact that you have with other human beings. The extent of your opportunities for social experience can also contribute to your shyness. For instance, again, let's use a home environment where you have a child, maybe the only child, or maybe more than one child. But in that same house, you also have a housemaid. And maybe that housemaid is about the same age as one of the children in the house. While the children of the house are being allowed to interact, to experience, to venture out, to contact and be in contact with other people, with things, with nature, with gadgets, the housemaid is only allowed between the kitchen and the small room where she sleeps. Over time, even though that housemaid and the child of the house are the same age, they will grow up, and the child of the house will be free to relate to anybody outside because they're used to going to parties, they go on holiday, they go visiting, they go socializing. What the housemaid is kept bound, as it were, in the house. So the extent of the opportunity you have for social experiences for social interaction will also contribute to your shyness. And I just want to hold fire a little bit on this issue of social exposure. Because we now live in a society, we live in the world where the opportunity for social person to person, face to face, human to human interaction is almost it doesn't exist anymore. It is gone, almost gone completely. Now, don't get me wrong. There's a place for social media. There's a place for gadget. There's a place for instrument. There's a place for equipment. There's a place for all of these things. Unfortunately, we have now substituted the need for human relation, the need for human interaction, the need for human touch, the need for you and I to relate. We have almost completely, totally obliterated. And we all now have 150,000 friends on Facebook. You don't even know their names. Because some of the names they give on Facebook are not their real names. But even if you know their names, when was the last time you heard their voice? All you see is gobby, something they type on the screen, and you say, oh yeah, my friend just sent me a message. Hey, your friend? He or she is not your friend. And I think we need to realize the danger and how much these gadgets and equipment and social this and social that, how much they have taken away from our ability to relate one-to-one as human beings. Now, you could say, well, Tunde, you're an hypocrite, but you're using it now. Like I said, there's a place for it. But it is when it has now dominated us to the point where, for instance, every now and again, I go around and about, and I maybe go into a shop or into a coffee house or even in a restaurant. And you see people sitting down. They've come from their houses to have friendship time, to socialize, to interact. And as soon as they sit down, that's all you can see. The fingers going, the fingers flicking. And you're wondering, whoa, guys, I thought you're here to socialize, to interact, to fellowship, to talk one to another. No. And then you say, have you seen that? And she's like, no, I'll see you later. Because everybody is locked into this social frenzy that has taken everything that we have and we need. When was the last time? Let me ask you this. When was the last time, for instance, you're walking down the street, somebody stopped to say, excuse me, where is so street? How can I get to the surgery? Where is the bank around here? Nobody asks you that anymore. As simple as that, as easy as it is for us to have that opportunity to even relate, we don't. Just put it on your sat nav. At the next junction, turn left. You have arrived at your destination. No human contact, no human interaction. We have lost every sense of social interaction. And because of that, when we then find ourselves in a situation where you now need to talk to somebody face to face, it's a challenge. It is a challenge. And that is why sometimes it used to really get me really wound up. But now I've come to understand that that's where we are as human beings. When people just see you walking down the road, there is no issue of excuse me. There is no Oh, please, can you help me? They just said, what's the time? Where you're thinking, where's your courtesy? Where's your decency? Where is normality about you? But you see, they're not being deliberate. That is what will have happened if they were asking somebody on a chat, in a chat room or over the email or whatever. That's how it will have gone. So these things, they have actually taken away some of the opportunities and some of the avenues that we have or we had to relate one to another, thereby building this platform for social interaction. The fourth reason why people are shy, which in my opinion is perhaps the biggest reason, the biggest culprit of why people are shy, is self-consciousness. Self-consciousness. The biggest cause of shyness is not the biological or the neurological or the environment. No, the biggest cause of shyness is how we think. The Bible says, as a man think in his heart, so is he. The way we think is the biggest cause of shyness. The way we think, especially faulty beliefs, wrong assumptions, negative cognitive biases that we have against ourselves or about ourselves, they are like a cage that we force ourselves into. The reason I say that is because people who are too self-conscious, people who are too what's the word? People who are too aware, or people who live on what would people say, how would people think, and what would they feel about me. When somebody becomes too self-conscious of who they are or what they are or what they're doing, they have just opened the door for the bondage of shyness. The reason I say that is because when somebody is too conscious of themselves, in their head, they are thinking for everybody to think that what they are doing is wrong, or they themselves, they are wrong, or what they are saying is wrong. They are so conscious that they're going to do something that will embarrass themselves and other people around. So in order to avoid that, they just shut it down. You remember I said earlier on that the biggest protection need for somebody that is shy is social acceptance. So the moment they start thinking, I don't know what to say, I don't know how to say it, I don't know what to do, I can't do that, what would they say, how would they think, I can't even put my words together, I may not even. That negative thinking or thought patterns, that negative faulty beliefs of what they have about themselves is the biggest cause of shyness. Because nobody wants to put himself or herself in a position where you embarrass yourself or you embarrass others. But what they have forgotten, the point that they are missing, is the fact that they have just put themselves in a vicious circle. And this is what I mean by that. When somebody is too self-conscious, especially conscious that I'm going to embarrass myself by what I'm saying, I'm going to embarrass my spouse, my children, my friends, my colleagues, if I open my mouth. when you are too conscious of yourself. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying go out there and just be as loud as a jackal. No, that's not what I'm saying. But everything has to be done in measure. Everything has to be done with moderation. When you are too conscious of yourself, the fear of embarrassing yourself, it will trigger the symptoms of shyness that we talked about earlier on. What are those symptoms? You start to feel hot under your shirt. Your palms start to sweat. Your pulse is racing. Your eyes are dilating. You start having butterfly in your stomach. You start to stutter, even though you don't have stuttering issue. Or you see people, that's when they start washing their hands, or they picking their nails, scratching their heads, looking on the ground. And the moment you start doing all of that, because those are the symptoms of shyness. Those symptoms will trigger an extreme form of self-consciousness. Those things that you are doing, that feeling of sweaty palm, it will trigger a higher degree of being conscious that, oh, my palm is sweating. Now you want to put your two hands in your pocket, you want to bring out your handkerchief, and you are just drawing unnecessary attention to yourself. So, the first stage is you start to think you don't want to embarrass yourself, so that causes the symptoms of shyness to manifest. The moment you notice the symptom of shyness, you become self-conscious, and that self-consciousness increases the level of the symptoms. And the moment the level goes up, the shy person, they just shut down themselves. They lock themselves inside themselves. They close the shop. They shut down completely. Because now, in their mind, in their head, they believe everybody is seeing what is going on. Everybody is now aware that I'm stuttering. Or I'm talking too fast, I'm talking too loud, I'm shouting. Maybe my hands are, my palm is sweaty. Maybe my eyes are dilated. Maybe this. And suddenly, you are now in a vicious circle. It's like the dog chasing its tail. The truth is this, ladies and gentlemen. Of all these causes of shyness that we've looked at, the biological from our parents, the neurological, the environment, maybe we can't do anything about that. And that's the truth. You can't do anything about the parents that raised you. You can't do anything about what your brain is secreting. You can't do anything about, well, little, really, about the environment in which you grow up or develop. But this biggest cause of shyness, this self-destructive thinking pattern, you can do something about it. I can do something about it. Somebody once said, you can't stop birds from flying over your head, but you can stop them from building a nest on your head. So maybe you can't do anything about the biological, the neurological, and the environment, but the way you think, you can do something about it. You can control what you think, how you think. You can change the way you think. You can change the thought patterns that is causing you to avoid social interaction, which is what shyness is all about. It's the avoidance of social interaction. I have friends, I have colleagues, even some of my siblings. They just wonder, why is it that I find it easy to just mingle and be in any environment? Now, does that mean I just throw myself about and no, no, no. If you know me, you know I'm full of life. I enjoy life. I mean, I am life personified. But I carry myself with grace and dignity. I present myself in a way that it forces you to also respect and honor me. I don't need to demand it. I will give it to you to the point that you will have no other option than to give it back to me. In good measure, pressed down, shaking together, and running over. I don't have issues interacting, relating, talking, and being in the midst of people. It don't face me. It doesn't. Because I have always believed that you're just another human being, just like I am. I don't know if this is getting home to somebody. I don't know how you feel about it. But by understanding and being aware of the way you think and how you think and the effect of your thinking pattern, the effect that it can have on your social interaction, I think we have just put our fingers on one of the biggest ways to solve the issue of shyness. Wrongful thinking about social interactions based on faulty beliefs contributes to shy feelings and behaviors in two ways. When you operate in that realm of wrongful thinking and faulty belief about yourself, which is manifested in the form of being shy, there are two ways that it will show up. First, faulty thinking makes social encounters seem more stressful and threatening than they actually are. When you have a wrong thought, a wrong mentality, a wrong perception, a wrong view about yourself, it makes you think that social interaction is actually more stressful and more threatening than they actually are. When in reality, they are not. They are not. Let me give you a quick example. This is life, okay? Earlier this year, I was outside and I saw two of my neighbors talking. So I approached them and I introduced myself. We've been always greeted. And I just out of, I don't know where it came from, I said, look here, guys. We have lived on this street for about 3 years. The few people that we know are the two next door to us. And really, it's even those two is just hi, bye. And I said, look, summer is coming. Why don't we do a barbecue, a street barbecue, where everybody, as many as can come, will come and be part of it and contribute, and that will give us the opportunity to meet our neighbors and interact, introduce ourselves. And my next door neighbor's wife said, yes, I think that's a great idea. Leave it with me, Tunde. We'll work on it. Cut the long story short, they fixed a date. That we're going to have a street barbecue. Everybody is invited. Everybody is welcome. Bring whatever you have and this and that. And a week before the date of the event, I was speaking to my next door neighbor's wife. And she said, Tunde, I don't know what is going on. I said, what is that? She said, I have had over 60 people confirmed that they are coming to this barbecue. I said, great. She said, look, we've been on this street longer than you have been. If you tell me there are 160 people on this street, I would have said no. But to have about 60 people confirm they are coming, this is wonderful. What am I trying to say? It's not because they don't want to interact. It's not because they feel shy. The avenue was not there. And when we provided the platform, boom, the day of the party, we were out there till late, and it was wonderful. It was great. So, social interaction is not as stressful and as threatening as people who are shy think they are. Number two, the second manifestation is that the anxiety. Oh dear, my battery is running. 1 minute, please. Sorry about that. The anxiety created by this negative, misguided thinking, they trigger acute self-consciousness. And this acute self-consciousness, it perpetuates a circle of shyness, and it prevents people from being successful and having a comfortable social interaction. I cannot stress enough the fact that the biggest cause of shyness is the way you think. It's what you are thinking. It's how you are thinking. Yes, there are other factors like we've enumerated in earlier on today. But the biggest cause, the biggest reason why people are shy is what's between their ears. It's the way they think. It is what you are thinking. But the truth is, most of what you are thinking, they're not true. Let's quickly look at some of the faulty beliefs that make people think negatively and causes them to be shy. Number one is negative thoughts. Negative thoughts. Negative thoughts creates a feeling of stress and anxiety, which, like we said, will make somebody to be shy or avoid social encounters as much as possible. Such people will skip an event if they can. Oh, we're going to the park tomorrow. And we're going to the park. But just about the time to get ready to go to the park, a shy person will come up with a reason why they can't go. Because of the negative thoughts of, oh, maybe if I go now, I might just spill the drink. I might just step on somebody's child. I might just say something that people won't like. Even though none of that is real, or even if for any reason it actually happened that you spilled the whole drink or step on somebody's leg or whatever, hey, that is part of human touch. That's what people do. That is what happens when two people interact, when two people relate. Guess what? They bump into each other. That is what life is all about. But the negative thought of, if I do that, then everybody will think, oh, here she come again. Now she's come to disrupt the party. But nobody's even thinking about that. So negative thought is the first type of faulty beliefs that causes people to be shy. The effect of avoiding socialization is that while it decreases your anxiety, now listen to this. Remember, shyness is purely avoidance of social interaction. For whatever reason you have given yourself, for whatever reason you have come up with to avoid social interaction, while that avoidance would decrease your anxiety because now you are not exposed to causing anybody trouble or causing embarrassment for yourself or somebody else, while you will enjoy that minute joy of not causing trouble, the flip side to that is that avoidance of socializing increases your shyness. It prolongs the length, the longevity, the life of your shyness has just been increased by another 6 months or 1 year, just by you avoiding social interaction. The reason it does that is because social interaction is meant to give you an opportunity to come face to face with your fear or your phobia or this issue of being shy. But because you avoid social interaction, you have just lost the opportunity to destroy the hold of shyness in your life. Number 2, faulty belief is the belief that there's only one way to socialize. The belief that there's only one way to socialize is another faulty belief. And that is why sometimes shy people will say, I'm not an extrovert, I'm an introvert. So I'll just, no. Like I said, there's a difference between being shy and being an introvert. An introvert person is not shy. They just like their own space. They're just really very quiet and very... It's not because they are afraid of socializing. When they are in their element, when they are in an area where they can express themselves, an introvert, who you would think, when they say that person is an introvert, you say, not that one. Because it is not that they can't socialize. It's just that they are comfortable in their own skin. They are comfortable in their own space. They are comfortable in their own environment. If you socialize, fine. If you don't socialize, hallelujah. They are happy. They are not avoiding socialization. And that's the difference between an introvert and a shy person. So to have a wrong belief that, oh, it's only extrovert that can socialize is wrong. That's the wrong one. It's not true. It's not true. Because some of the people that are not extroverts, some of the people that are introverts who are happy in their own comfort and in their own skin and in their own space and by themselves, if need be, they will relate and socialize. Some of them, they make the best of friends. Do you know why? They have the grace to be good listeners. Okay, really? Is that so? Oh, wow. Tell me more. And guess what? Everybody, every human being craves somebody who will listen to them. So, just because they are not the life of the party, jumping up and down, shouting and screaming and all of that, they could have just given somebody the best time of their life in a party, in an environment, in a social gathering, by giving the person a listening ear. That is priceless. The third wrong belief that causes people to be shy is the belief that if you are not amusing or incredibly fascinating, people won't like you. That's a lie. That is a lie. That is a lie. The reality is this, ladies and gentlemen. We all have something to give. None of us is barren. None of us is empty-handed. None of us is completely dry. We all have something to give. So you don't have to be the clown or the life of the party for people to like you. In fact, some people like you because of your gentleness, your kindness, your ability to empathize, your willingness to be out and support, your ability to see outside the box. So you don't really have to be a clown and whatever for people to like you. You definitely have other traits that people admire greatly and they respect. Things like being loyal, being down to earth, being what you see is what you get. There's a lady on this program tonight, Monica Van Kooten. You can't be with Monica and then walk away and think, what does she mean? No. You know exactly where Monica is. You can't miss Monica. Because she's down to earth. She's so real a person. But you won't see her jumping from pillar to post and no. But for those of us who are her friends, we value that quality that she brings of being real, being down to earth, being not being a fake. Another wrong belief is the assumption that if others want to talk to me, they'll let me know. Really? Children say, oh, John, oh, look at Peter. Say, if he wants me to talk to him, he'll let me know. So Peter is on the other side saying, well, if John wants me to talk to him, he'll let me know. Guess what? The two of you are standing aloof and nobody is talking to nobody. The reality is this. Most of the time, people are too busy. They are too caught up in the environment, in the moment, in the event going on that they are just having fun. They are not thinking that, oh, we need to drag him into our conversation. They are just having fun. It is up to you to put yourself in a position, in a situation where you can interact and relate to other people. The last wrong belief that causes people to shy is what is called the me, always, everything tendency. Me, always, everything tendency. What do I mean by that? Shy people draw overly general and personal conclusions from one mishap. One mishap, they make it into everything. For instance, a shy person will automatically believe that when a social encounter goes less than ideal, less than expected, or something happened in the course of social interaction, they immediately put that blame on themselves. It's because of me. I'm responsible for that. It might not have anything to do with you. So they take that on board and they say it's because of them. So that's the me. The always part is that shy person will invariably make every social encounter as if it is the norm. Like the example I gave earlier on. You're in the park, everybody's having fun, and suddenly you knock the drink over and it poured away. It happened. That's accident. But a shy person will say, it always happened to me. I'm always the person that is causing the drink to fall over. Well, this is the only time it's happened. Don't make it the whole. Don't make one issue the whole issue. It won't help you. That is the always. The everything aspect is that the shy person, they think that the social handicap that they have undermine all aspects of their life. The only area where you're shy is when it comes to talking to your next door neighbor. But yet, you're the best salesperson in the office. But a shy person will say, because I can't talk to my neighbor, then everything to do with social interaction in my life is not working. That's not true. That is not true. In conclusion, therefore, ladies and gentlemen, shyness can often become a vicious circle. Shyness can often become a vicious circle. And this is how it works. In 3 stages. The first stage is what happens before social interaction. What happens before social interaction is that The faulty beliefs about socializing will lead you to a complete avoidance of socializing. The faulty beliefs, all those ones that we've looked at, they will gang up and bring you to a point where you think there's no point in even trying, and therefore you won't socialize. That's the first. The first stage is before the social interaction. So you've looked at, okay, we're supposed to meet today in the pub. Oh, if I go there now, I might say something that the manager will be upset about. I might just see something that I might just. You know what? The best thing, let me just stay in my house and so they won't go out. They will not go. So that the event hasn't happened. This is just before the event. They've already ruled themselves out. The second stage is this. Is during social interaction. During social interaction, this is what the faulty belief will lead to anxiety. Anxiety, like we said, will lead to self-consciousness. Self-consciousness will lead to avoidance behavior. Stage 2 is what happens during social interaction. Now you have dragged yourself, screaming and shouting, out of your house to go and interact and socialize and come over the issue of shyness. Thank God for that. But as soon as you arrive, those faulty beliefs will start popping up. Ping, 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 ping. And before you know it, you become overly self-conscious. Oh, I'm shaking. Do I look all right? How's my gilly? How's my wig? How's my tie? Do you think my shoe matches? And immediately you talk yourself to condemnation. You become overly self-conscious. And that self-conscious will then force you now to say, my suit color doesn't match the color of all these other people. So instead of interacting, you go and sit down in a corner by yourself. It forces you to develop or to exhibit avoidance behavior. Then the third stage is what happens after the social interaction, the post-social interaction situation, which, for lack of better term, I call it the post-mortem examination. You know, after somebody dies, they now want to know what killed the person. They open them up. That's post-mortem. A lot of shy people, they will do that to a social event or a social interaction they've just had. They now put it on the table. They open the chairs. They want to see this. They want to see why that. Post-mortem examination will lead to negative feedbacks. Oh, so that person didn't greet me because, oh, that lady just looked at me because. Now you are feeding back to yourself negative results. Some of those things could have happened, but you don't know why. So don't associate, don't start apportioning reasons to them. And those reasons that you are apportioning, they are negative reasons. They are poisonous to your body. They are just empowering the spirit of shyness that is all over you. So post-mortem examination will lead to negative feedbacks. Negative feedbacks will lead to self-condemnation. Oh, I knew it. I shouldn't have gone. Why did I even leave the house? I said this, that if I go, this will happen. Now you are self-condemning yourself. Self-condemnation will lead to inner vows. You know what inner vows are? Those are vows you make to yourself without verbalizing it. In your mind, in your heart, and some of them you even whisper it, but you speak to yourself. That will never happen to me again. I will never put myself in that embarrassing situation again. I will never allow anybody to. and you make those vows to yourself. Here's the last leg. Those inner vows, they become chains and padlocks and cage, and they shut you down socially, totally and completely. Because every time you now try to make a move to interact socially, to relate to people, your conscious mind will remind you, remember your vows, and you shut it down. Post-mortem examination is a killer. There's nothing wrong in doing a review of what has happened and how it has happened. But when that review leads to you now giving yourself negative feedbacks, and the negative feedbacks are now leading to self-condemnation, and self-condemnation is resulting into inner vows, the inner vows become the chains and the locks that shut you down completely. Shyness is a disease, but it can be cured. There is a cure for it. There is a cure for it. And that is what we'll be looking at on this program next week about this time. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a great evening. I've enjoyed your company. Thank you so much for all your comments. Sorry I couldn't stop and read them because I'm conscious of time. I respect and honor your time, and I would not want to do anything to take you for granted. I appreciate your time more than anything. I honor you and your time. But next week, we'll be looking at how to overcome shyness, among other things. But before I go, I just want to let you know, this program will be exactly 1 year old in February 2018. And I'm thinking it would be a good idea for us to celebrate it. So I'm open to ideas. If you know or think of anything we can do, how we can celebrate 1 year of Become a Better Man, drop me a line, info@theadministrator.org. I'll be so happy to hear your ideas. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your time. Thank you so much. It's been a great evening, and I hope somehow, somewhere among everything that we have talked about, we've discussed tonight, something has dropped for you that will add value to you and to your journey in life. But before we go, I need to ask you a big favor. Would you just right now click the share button on your screen? Just click that share button so that somebody else that I could never, I will never reach, but that is within your contact of influence, will also benefit from what we have talked about tonight. Because the truth is this, there are so many people, old, young, middle, black, white, men, women, boys, girls, in all aspects of life that are dealing with this issue of shyness. And maybe the biggest Christmas gift you can give to them is not another woolly jumper. Maybe it's just you clicking the share button on your screen right now so that they can partake of what we have discussed tonight. Remember, we are people of destiny. We have a destination. We're going somewhere. And we're not just going to go for going's sake. No, we're going with a purpose in our heart. We have a vision and a mission that must be accomplished. And this platform is committed and dedicated to ensuring that with every step we are adding one value or another to ourselves as we go on this journey. So that when we arrive at that destination, even people will look and they will comment that these are better men and better women. Until next week, same time, same place, same platform. This is Tunde Disu saying thank you. God bless you. Have a wonderful rest of the week. See you next week. Bye-bye.